We've got drinks, we've got desserts, and now we're going to move on to food. We have one of Hawaii's best over here and one of my favorites. Chef Colin Hazama is in the house. C4 Table, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks again, Kainoa.
Good to see you, Chef. Okay, awesome. C4 Table, tell people about it. How did this whole thing start?
So this all kind of started when, basically, I guess when pandemic happened. I used to be the executive chef at the Royal Hawaiian, and I wanted to kind of do my own business, have my own catering, and so it was time to open up a new door, so I started and did my own catering.
Now, that was so interesting when the pandemic happened. Everyone had to pivot, make decisions we weren't used to making, and of that came C4 Table. What are some of the dishes that you feature? How would you describe the cuisine for C4 Table?
So I call it kind of upscale comfort food, and it's basically all the things you love and enjoy when you're growing up in Hawaii, but kind of taking a twist and kind of elevating it with that restaurant, kind of hotel, kind of elevation in the food.
No, it is. I've been a supporter of C4 Table, and look at that food. That is so exquisite. It's beautiful, and it's not typical food that you see at these farmers markets, and it's high-level food. So, Chef, what are you cooking up over here in the kitchen?
So,
what we got working?
What we have working today is my Misozuke butterfish, and it's going to be served with a little bit of sesame spinach here and vanilla hearts of palm puree.
Okay,
and so
beautiful.
The only difference with little misoyaki butterfish or Misozuke is this one we reduce down the reduction, and it makes it more concentrated, more intense. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just torch it and give it a nice kind of blistery caramelization on top of the surface.
How's that going to kind of change the flavor profile when you torch it like that?
It's going to give it kind of a little more smoky and earthy flavor, and it's also going to make that skin nice and crispy and give it a little color on the fish. So
beautiful.
That's what I'm doing right now for this.
So is miso butterfish too? This is one of those ones you've been cooking for a long time, yeah?
I've been doing kind of quite some time. So I kind of tried to get close to perfecting it as much as we can.
Okay, Chef. What I find fascinating about yourself as well is not only are you an incredible chef, you're also a diver, right?
I am.
You go out and you dive for a lot of the stuff that you cook with. How important is that relationship as a chef into the ocean and to the land?
I mean, I think it's definitely really important to be able to catch your own fish or being sustainable. The good thing about spearfishing is we luckily get to be a little more selective and shoot or spear the fish or octopus or taco, instead of just catching on the pole and having to release it back. Whatever you shoot, you pretty much have to, you're gonna take home and catch and give back to family or friends.
100%. And one of the High Now segments we did with you, Chef, we actually followed him out as a spear fisherman. You went, you did the whole bit, you got the fish, you brought it back, you cooked it. So it's incredible what you're able to do. So are we plating up? What we got going on? This is the spinach.
I'm just plating up the spinach here. It's just got a little sesame oil, a touch of sesame seeds, salt. And then we have the hearts of palm puree. And what this is hearts of palm is basically the inner core of the peach palm plant, and it basically has kind of a little nutty, coconutty flavor. So I'm putting a little bit of dollops of that. And then we have the butterfish here that we cooked and then torched. And what we're gonna do is gonna plate that up as well and just kind of place it so it looks a little...
This thing is beautiful.
Little, mosaic looking.
All finished up, Chef?
I'm just going to put a little bit of garnish of some watercress. So I like to also work with a lot of local farms. This is Sumito watercress over in Aiea, that big farm that you see with over the overlooks by Aiea. Yep. Little hearts of palm, the rings of the hearts of palm, and little pickles. Pickled chilies on there.
I mean, look at this. Where at a farmer's market are you going to find food that looks like this? You're the only guy I know. So congratulations. It's amazing. Now, in addition to all of the many dishes that you serve, you also got, you have ready-to-go stuff too, yeah?
I got ready-to-go, like flavored salt. This is my smoked lavender salt. And then I also have Pog gummy bears, Lihing lemon peel gummy bears. I have jasmine lychee gummy bears. And we're also featured every Wednesday at Fish Cake over on Komani Street, which is right down in Kakako.
Okay, well, Chef, real quick, before we let you go, how can people find C4 Table? Where are you guys located at?
So we're located at Fish Cake on every Wednesday, and then I specialize on private catering. So that's my go-to. So if you have a special occasion or party or event for your work or business, you can
hit this guy. How do they book you, Chef?
So they can book us by emailing us at chefcolinhazama@c4table.com, or you can text us at 922-1910. Or follow us on Instagram at C4_table, our Chef Colin Hazama.
You're the man, Chef. Thanks so much for cooking it up. He's hanging out with us because coming after the break, we're going to talk all things Hawaii Food and Wine Festival.
Correct.
Sound good?
Correct.
Aloha, welcome back to High Now Daily. We're hanging out with Chef Colin Hazama. In addition to also running C4 Table, he's serving as the executive chef, one of the many executive chefs for this Hawaii Food and Wine Festival that's taking place. So it's an incredible festival. Hawaii Food and Wine has grown over the years, Chef. So what can people expect this year?
So it's our 13th year, and what you can expect is some of the best things. We have 150 chefs, mixologists, and winemakers that come out. I mean, just some of the best from around the world, as well as local talent.
So yeah, and if you're not familiar, you're looking at some video here right now. I mean, the festival, it's different events, different foods, highlighting different chefs. Touch on some of the chefs that are going to be featured this year.
So we have many great events. One of our big featured events is on Thursday, November 2nd. It's over at the Lohilani Resort, and we have Chef Shota Nakajima, who's over at Taku in Seattle. We also have Chef Robin Mai from FET, of course, everyone knows, James Beard Award winner for locally, and we also have Chef Morimoto as well featured out there. So that's a big key one. And then on Saturday night, we're bringing back the Ko'olina event over at Aulani and Four Seasons. So that event is spectacular, and we're featuring, we have Chef Jason Peel over from Namakaze. We also have big name chefs that are coming out over there, and it's just one of the best.
That's one of those events you got to book a hotel room for that.
Yeah,
you're going to want to stay there and enjoy throughout the night. With the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, I seen as well, it's grown to be one of the top 10, right? Food and wine festivals in the country. Did I read that right?
Yes, we're up for that for sure.
That's incredible.
10, yeah.
Okay, so this year as well, given everything that's taken place on Maui, many chefs, many restaurants have been impacted over there as well. You guys are going to come in and kokua in that way. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we have the Kokua Restaurant and Hospitality Fund, and we've actually raised just under $500,000. And that money is going to go straight to the families and restaurant workers or whoever is involved with anything in the hospitality industry itself. And, it's just, a time that really is where we could basically contribute to all that funds to help back all these families in Lahaina.
Yeah, and what I think is so fascinating too is that when everything took place over there in Maui, it felt like a lot of the tendency was for chefs especially was watching what happened. Many of the chefs we've had on the show, they're just like, I got to get into the kitchen.
Yeah.
I just got to get into the kitchen. Did you feel that way as well? I mean, it's just kind of this space where you guys are able to come together, create, and try and move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, I know that Chef Hui did a phenomenal job in breaking down and doing that in Maui. I personally wasn't able to go out to Maui, but I was able to raise money for at my pop-ups, and I was able to donate with the restaurant, the Kokua Fund, and donate money back to some of the chefs. And that relationship and friendship I have with some of the chefs and their staff as well. So it's definitely hit very, very hard to home. My father and my aunt are actually from my grandparents were all from Maui. So it's definitely a sensitive subject, but at the same time, we want to make sure that now we rebuild and move forward to help out as much as we can for the families there.
That's right. It is essential to continue to support our local restaurants, support our local food scene. And when you think about the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, I think what's so fascinating about it is that when you bring in all these top-tier chefs from the mainland as well, you really kind of see the culinary respect that people have for Hawaii food and Hawaii cuisine.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that too?
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of the chefs that we bring down, they've actually raised money in their restaurants to help support Lahaina as well. And it's just awesome to be able to bring back these chefs, and they are just enjoy being here in Hawaii and being able to showcase their food and their cuisine as well, working together with the other local chefs here in Hawaii. And Chef Alan Wong, Chef Roy Yamaguchi, and then our CEO Denise Yamaguchi, she has really embodied to put everything together to make sure that we can integrate and work with them to really build this next step and this next future for the food and hospitality in Hawaii.
Absolutely. Well, big time mahalo for coming on the show, Chef. I mean, I'm biased. Hawaii, to me, best food in the world. Big time mahalo. And one more time, for people, if they want to follow you and book you for private events, how do they do it?
They can book me by looking at either Chef Colin Hazama at c4table.com on my website, or you can go and follow me at Chef Colin Hazama on Instagram, or at C4table_. C4_table.
There you go. Head to his Instagram, and all this miso butterfish, you could be enjoying it.